Good evening and welcome to Rapid TV News. My name is Cynthia Agbo. First, the headlines. President Buhari swears in ex-IGP Arase as PSC chairman. Ayu heads for court as PDP appoints acting chair. NBS says domestic affairs jumped by 66% in 2022. UN raises alarm over Sahel region hub. Nigeria fails to qualify for Paris 2024 Olympics. Details of these and more will come to you shortly. President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday morning swore in the new chairman of the Police Service Commission, PSC, former Inspector General of Police Solomon Arase. Arase took oath of office at 10:05 a.m. at the Council Chamber of the Presidential Villa, Abuja, in the presence of Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, SGF Boss Mustafa, Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, and other FEC members. This comes 2 months after the Senate confirmed him as chairperson of the PSC. It was reported that on January 24, 2023, Buhari had forwarded Arase's name to the Senate, asking the upper legislative chamber to confirm him in line with Section 153, subsection 1, and 154, section 1 of the Constitution as amended. Arase, 65, who retired in 2016, was the 18th Indigenous Inspector General of Police and has served in various capacities according as head of the Criminal Intelligence and Investigation Bureau, the foremost intelligence gathering unit of the Nigerian police. Prior to the battle over the cash policy, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria halted the strike for 2 weeks. Rapid TV News correspondent Irene Okechukwu reports.
Prior to the battle over the cash policy, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria halted the strike for 2 weeks. Comrade Joseph Ajero, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, announced during a news conference that a nationwide strike that was scheduled to start today has been postponed since the Central Bank of Nigeria was able to ensure the flow of money.
And assurance that if you spend this money, you can still go to the bank and withdraw. The whole panicky situation will continue. So the NLC have decided and TUC to equally allow tomorrow to pass without any shutdown or picketing, but to watch the next 2 weeks. After 2 weeks from today, the neck of the two centers will meet again and decide whether the CBN has actually complied and whether their compliance is actually sustainable to drive the economy.
Sanctions will be applied to any banks that don't comply, stating that the needs and interests of the people comes first. Festus Osifo, the president of Trade Union Congress, said that the goal is to assess the bank's degree of compliance, believing that safeguarding the nation's citizens is the main goal. But he emphasized that a comprehensive effort will be made to find solution to the problem of petrol availability in the nation.
Evaluate the level of compliance. And as I've always said in several fora, that the most patriotic Nigerians are the employees and are members of
Reporting, Irene Okechukwu.
The federal government on Tuesday gave the assurance that the transition of power from President Muhammadu Buhari to the president-elect Bola Tinubu would be smooth and peaceful. This was as the government said the refurbishment of offices for the president and vice president-elect had been completed. Addressing journalists in Abuja on Tuesday, the chairman of the Transition Committee, Boss Mustafa, stressed that litigation would not stop the handover ceremony from taking place. Mustafa noted that the Security Subcommittee had been saddled with the responsibility to ensure no one truncates the handover. As part of the transition, Mustafa also said 4 members of the president-elect team would be joining the federal government delegation to the spring meeting of the World Bank. He, however, revealed that the president-elect has nominated Wale Abiodun and the governor of Kebbi State, Atiku Bagudu, to the part of the transition committee. The national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Senator Iyorchia Ayu, who stepped aside from his position on Tuesday, is set to fight his suspension by Benue State High Court in Makurdi on Monday. Ayu's Special Assistant on Communication, Simon Imobo Swam, disclosed this to newsmen shortly after the party announced the appointment of the Deputy National Chairman, Umar Damagum, as the acting national chairman. He said Ayu would challenge the suspension order in court. Igorov Ward Executive Committee in the Boko local government area of Benue State had on Sunday suspended Ayu for allegedly anti-party activities and for failing to pay his membership dues. In the aftermath of the suspension, the Benue State Court restrained Ayu from parading himself as the chairman of the party following a suit filed by the former aide of the state governor, Conrad Itan. The Action Alliance AA party says it will hold primaries for its governorship candidates in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states on April 17th. The party's national secretary, James Venimbe, stated this in Abuja on Wednesday. He explained that the party had notified the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) about the preparations to the conduct of the exercise. According to him, the party will first conduct a delegate election in the 3 states on April 5 for those participating in the primaries. Venimbe, however, said the primaries will be held in AA secretaries in Yenagoa, Owerri, and Lokoja, respectively. He also stated that the mode of the governorship primaries would be indirect. And on the Naira scarcity, the Ekiti state government has threatened to sanction filling stations that reject point-of-sale transactions owing to the current cash scarcity in the country. The special advisor to the state governor on industry, trade and investment, Omotayo Adeola, gave the warning at a meeting with the State Petroleum Task Force Committee and representatives of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers on Tuesday in Ado Ekiti. Adeola said the decision had become imperative in order to alleviate the hardship people had been experiencing as a result of the current cash crunch in the country. She implored residents to lodge their complaints against errant filing stations operators. In separate interviews after the meeting, the chairman, Ekiti State Petroleum Task Force Committee, Ayodeji Adesoka, and the Nupeng chairman, Olumide Jegede, appealed to petroleum marketers to comply with the directive. They warned that erring petroleum stations will be sanctioned by the government. You're watching Rapid TV News. Still to come, NBS says domestic airfares jumped by 66% in 2022. UN raises alarm over Sahel region hub. Nigeria fails to qualify for Paris 2024 Olympics. Stand by for these and more after the break. Welcome back. The National Bureau of Statistics has revealed that domestic air transport fares increased by 66.36% in the last 1 year. In its latest report, the NBS stated that the average fare paid by air passengers and air travel for specified routes single journey decreased by 0.18% on a month-on-month basis from 74,702.70 in January 2023 to 74,571.62 in February 2023. It, however, rose by 66.36% year-on-year from 44,824.25 in February 2022. The report also indicated that the average fare paid by commuters for bus journeys within cities decreased by 0.47% in February 2023 to 647.66 from 650.70 in January 2023. But on year-on-year basis, the average fare rose by 26.07% from 513.72 in February 2022. For bus intercity pair drop, the average fare paid by commuters dropped by 0.1% on a month-on-month basis, or 3,990.70 in February 23, compared to 3,998.42 in the previous month. On a year-on-year basis, this increased by 4.02%, from 3,836.45 kobo in the same period last year. And moving on to the foreign scene, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres says he's deeply concerned by the gains terrorist groups are making in the Sahel and elsewhere. Guterres read from prepared remarks delivered at a Security Council meeting on counter-terrorism called for by Mozambique, this month's council president. Mozambique's President Filipe Jacinto Nyusi, who led the meeting, said the situation in Africa is particularly critical as terrorist groups depend on illicit activities for funding and recruitment. UK Deputy Permanent Representative to the United Nations James Kariuki suggested the use of UN sanctions as solution. And moving on to sport, the Olympic Eagles of Nigeria failed to qualify for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON and the Paris 2024 Olympics, losing 2-0 to Guinea in the second leg of their fixture at the Prince Moulay Al Hassan Stadium in Rabat, Morocco. The 2-0 Guinea victory in the final qualifying fixture means Nigeria have now lost 2-0 on aggregate after a 0-0 draw in the first leg at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. Guinea opened the scoring through Al Gassime Ba in the 61st minute. Then in the 73rd minute, the Nigerians were stunned when Aseni Soma scored Guinea's second goal from a brilliant free kick to make the second score 2-0. The match finished 2-0 in favor of Guinea as Nigerians could not find a way back into the match. With the victory, Guinea have now qualified for the Under-23 AFCON, from where Africa's representatives at the Olympics will emerge. Spanish police clashed with Peru national team players at the Squad Hotel in Madrid on Monday after fans gathered outside to greet the team. According to players in video shared on social media, the Peruvians are in Spain for friendly matches, the first of which was a 2-0 defeat to Germany, while the second comes up today against Morocco by 8:30 Nigerian time. The altercation broke out when hundreds of fans approached the team's hotel after a training session. In videos shared widely on social media, midfielder Yoshima Yotun can be seen arguing with policemen who then pushed him. Other players and police then became involved. Police also pushed striker Alex Valera while he was picking up a flag. According to one of the videos, there was no official statement from the Madrid Municipal Police nor from the Peruvian Football Federation. Peruvian media reported that the situation lasted a few minutes and was brought under control. You have been watching Rapid TV News. For us to end the news, here's a recap of our major stories. President Buhari swears in ex-IGPRC as PSC chairman. Ayi heads for court as PDP appoints acting chair. NBS say domestic airfares jumped by 66% in 2022. United Nations raises alarm over Sahel region hub. And in sports, Nigeria fails to qualify for Paris 2024 Olympics. That's so much we can take on the news at this time. Do have yourself a wonderful evening. My name is Cynthia Agbo. Keep watching our programs.